On a quiet coast where the sea whispers softly against the cliffs, a small lighthouse rises up into the sky. Its white walls gleam in the sunlight, as if they're trying to catch every ray of light. The fog rolls in like a gentle blanket, wrapping itself around the land and the lighthouse alike. The keeper of this lighthouse is an old man named Thomas. He has lived here for many years, guiding ships through the darkness with his steady presence and the bright light of the lamp inside the tower. Every evening, as the sun dips below the horizon, the great beam of light from the top of the lighthouse begins to flicker on. It cuts through the fog like a warm, golden thread, signaling safety for the weary sailors out at sea. Thomas walks slowly down the winding stairs that lead to his tiny dwelling inside the base of the tower. His footsteps are soft but sure, as if he knows every step by heart. He carries with him a small oil lamp and a book that has been well worn over many years. He tends to the flame, ensuring it burns bright and steady. The light from the lamp casts a warm glow around the room, making everything feel cozy and safe. Thomas takes his time, knowing that this light could mean the difference between safety and disaster for the sailors. As he finishes, he steps out into the cool night air. The lighthouse door creaks softly behind him. He stands on the balcony, looking out at the vast expanse of fog and sea. The light from the lamp dances in the mist, creating a magical, dreamlike scene. The evening is peaceful here, with only the occasional sound of waves crashing against the shore breaking the silence. Thomas feels content, knowing that he helps to keep everyone safe as they travel through these waters. The sun has just begun to peak above the horizon, casting a soft golden glow over the quiet coast. The lighthouse keeper, Mr. Grayson, wakes up with the sound of crashing waves and distant seagulls. He gently stretches in his small, cozy cottage, feeling the cool morning air. Mr. Grayson steps out into the brisk sea breeze. His cottage is close to the lighthouse, its light a steady beacon guiding ships safely through stormy weather. The keeper takes his time walking down the winding path that leads up to the lighthouse. The path is lined with wildflowers and small trees that sway gently in the wind. At the base of the lighthouse, Mr. Grayson inspects the steps carefully. Every morning, he ensures they are safe before beginning his climb. He feels a sense of responsibility and pride as he ascends the spiral staircase, his footsteps echoing softly against the stone walls. Inside the lighthouse, there is an eerie quiet. The first thing Mr. Grayson does is check the light. He adjusts the lenses and bulbs to make sure everything is working properly. His hands move with a practiced ease, setting each piece in place with care. The light above him glows warmly, casting a soft yellow beam that stretches out into the dark mist. After that, he turns his attention to the foghorn. The keeper presses buttons and adjusts dials until the horn emits its steady and reassuring sound. It rings out into the fog, a comforting presence for any ship lost in the mists. Mr. Grayson listens intently as the sound travels far and wide, ensuring it is strong and reliable. With his tasks completed, he steps outside to enjoy the view. The early morning sea is calm, its surface shimmering with the first light of day. Seagulls glide effortlessly overhead, their wings cutting through the air. Mr. Grayson takes a deep breath, feeling the coolness of the mist on his face. As he stands there, he thinks about all the ships that have been guided safely by his lighthouse over the years. He reflects on how each day brings new challenges and opportunities to serve those in need. His heart feels filled with peace and contentment as he looks out at the sea, ready for another day of keeping watch. After finishing his breakfast, the lighthouse keeper steps outside onto the porch. The morning is calm, with a soft fog hugging the ground. He takes a deep breath, feeling the cool breeze against his face. He walks down to the edge of the cliff. The beach stretches out before him, white sand gently swaying in the light breeze. Seagulls call softly in the distance, their squawks carried by the wind. The keeper traces his fingers along the rough stone path that winds its way down to the shore. Each step echoes slightly on the quiet sand. He pauses occasionally, listening to the rhythmic sound of waves gently lapping against the rocks. The water is calm today, a pale blue reflecting the early morning light. He reaches the edge of the surf and stands there for a moment, feeling the warmth of the sun on his skin. Gazing out at the vast ocean, he thinks about how many times he has walked this path over the years. Each step feels peaceful and familiar, like part of a long, quiet dance with nature. As he walks back up the beach, he picks up a small shell that glimmers in the light. It's smooth to the touch and a perfect example of what the ocean offers on any given morning. He puts it carefully into his pocket, knowing he will add it to his collection someday. He passes by several sea stacks jutting out from the shore, their surfaces weathered but still sturdy against the tides. The keeper feels a sense of strength and resilience as he looks upon them. They've stood here for so long, watching over the coast just like he does every morning. With his mind clear after this peaceful walk, he returns to the lighthouse, ready to take on another day's tasks with renewed energy. The keeper starts his evening routine by climbing the winding stairs inside the lighthouse. Each step creaks softly underfoot, announcing his presence to the quiet night. He reaches the top of the staircase and steps onto a small balcony that overlooks the vast expanse of sea. The keeper leans against the railing, looking out at the dark waves rolling towards the shore. The fog is thick tonight, almost like a blanket covering everything in a gentle gray haze. The sound of the ocean is calm but steady, the only noise in this sleepy place. He turns and heads to the light room, where the powerful beam shines brightly from within. Inside, the keeper adjusts the oil lamp carefully, making sure it's full and properly lit. He checks the lens for any dirt or grime that might obstruct the beam. The keeper's hands move with practiced ease as he ensures everything is in order. Outside again, the keeper stands on the balcony once more. The light now shines out to sea, piercing through the fog. Its steady glow is a comforting presence in this otherwise quiet world, guiding ships safely by night. He feels satisfied knowing that his work tonight was done well. The keeper takes one last look at the ocean and then begins his descent down the stairs. The sun slowly sinks below the horizon, painting the sky with soft hues of orange and pink. Below, the sea remains calm, reflecting the warm colors like a mirror. The keeper stands on top of the lighthouse, looking out over the coast. He feels cool air as it starts to gather, hinting at an approaching change. The fog begins to roll in, creeping across the land with slow, gentle movements. It looks almost like smoke, rising from the sea and covering the ground. The keeper watches closely. He knows that this fog can make his job more challenging. As the mist thickens, it starts to obscure parts of the coast, making everything seem softer, less distinct. The keeper pulls on a thick woolen sweater, feeling the fabric warm up as his hands move over it. He reaches inside his jacket pocket and feels the key, ready for his next task. The fog continues its slow advance, wrapping itself around the lighthouse like an old friend. It's almost comforting, this heavy, gray blanket that seems to be settling in. The keeper's movements become more deliberate as he prepares for the night ahead. He takes a few deep breaths, filling his lungs with the fresh, damp air. The sounds of the coast grow softer. Birdsong fades into silence, replaced by the distant sound of waves gently lapping against the shore. The night is thick with fog now, settling like a soft white blanket over the sleepy coast. The keeper steps down from his house, feeling the chill of the air as he walks towards the lighthouse. The path is dimly lit by the glow of a single lamp, guiding him along. He reaches the foghorn room and opens the door. Inside, the machinery hums softly, waiting for its turn to speak. With careful hands, he turns the crank. First there's just a low murmur, like a distant whisper, but then it grows louder and deeper, a rumbling sound that echoes out into the night. The horn speaks in long, slow tones, sending ripples of sound across the sea. Outside, the fog seems to lift slightly as if listening to the call, hugging the ground even tighter around the lighthouse. The keeper watches the lights on his watch, making sure everything is in order before turning back to the machine. For a moment, he stands there, feeling the power of the sound reaching out into the darkness. The lighthouse stands tall by the edge of the coast. Inside, the keeper is sitting still in his favorite armchair. His feet are warm on the thick rug under the chair. The room feels cozy and safe. Outside, the foghorn continues its steady sound, a low hum that fills the air. The light from the lamp flickers softly in the background. It seems to be the only source of warmth here. The walls around him are painted in soft blues and greens, colors that calm his eyes and mind. A small wooden table holds a pile of books he hasn't read, but they feel comforting just by their presence. The silence is thick with a cool evening air. Occasionally, the sound of waves crashing against the rocks can be heard, muffled yet constant. The keeper feels a deep sense of peace as he listens to the rhythm of nature around him. As the night deepens, the foghorn's voice becomes more distinct. It seems to whisper secrets of the sea and the safety it provides for ships and sailors. The keeper leans back, closing his eyes briefly. He feels secure in this quiet place, surrounded by the familiar sounds and scents of his home. When he opens his eyes again, the room still looks peaceful, just as it always does after dark. He picks up a book, but doesn't turn any pages. Just holding it feels good, comforting him with its weight and texture. The keeper listens to the soft sound of the foghorn, feeling the gentle lull of the night's embrace. The world outside is quiet, and he knows that his place here, by the lighthouse, is where he belongs. The day's work at the lighthouse is done. The keeper steps out onto the porch, feeling a gentle breeze as it whispers across the quiet coast. He stands, feeling the cool night air on his skin, and looks up into the sky. Above him, the stars are beginning to twinkle in the darkening blue of twilight. They seem to dance gently, lighting the way for ships that might navigate the dangerous waters. The keeper watches, his eyes drawn by their soft glow. The light from the lighthouse itself seems to blend with the starlight, creating a magical moment. He takes a deep breath and inhales the salty air mixed with the scent of pine and sea. It's a peaceful night, filled with the sound of distant waves and the occasional cry of an owl from somewhere in the nearby woods. The keeper feels at peace as he stands there, watching the stars. As he watches, a gentle fog rolls in, barely touching the ground but thickening the air above it. The stars through this thin mist seem to come closer, almost within reach. They twinkle with quiet intensity, giving the sky a soft and mysterious glow. The keeper remains still, feeling a sense of calm wash over him as he looks up at the starry night. He returns to the small house, slipping through the kitchen with the same quiet steps he had in the night. The door creaks softly when it closes behind him. He walks over to a simple wooden table by the window and sits down. A bowl of soup is already warming on the stove. It's a light green broth, full of vegetables and small pieces of fish. He takes a spoon and begins to eat slowly, savoring each bite. The steam from the soup rises into the cool air, making the kitchen feel cozy. Outside, the fog still blankets the coast. A few lights flicker on in distant homes, giving a soft glow to the night sky. The keeper watches, feeling both alone and at peace with the world around him. He finishes his meal and places the bowl carefully back on the stove. The soup cools slowly, warming him still as he stands by the window and looks out. The silence is thick, but not unpleasant. He thinks about how quiet it would be if all the people were asleep. The sounds of nature fill the space. A distant seagull cries, its voice echoing softly against the fog. After the simple dinner, the keeper gathers his book from the table. He carries it to the living room where the fireplace burns brightly. The warmth of the fire contrasts with the cool air outside that's filled with swirling fog. He places a log on the fire and watches it crackle and burst into flames. The light dances across the walls, casting shadows in corners. A gentle hum from the generator blends harmoniously with the crackling of the logs. The keeper sits in his favorite chair, hugging a blanket around himself for added warmth. He opens his book and begins to read out loud, his voice soft but clear. The words flow smoothly, painting pictures in his mind and the quiet room. Outside, the fog thickens as if trying to reach inside the warm house. But inside, everything is calm and still. The keeper's eyes follow the lines of text as he reads about faraway lands and adventures that seem almost real within the safety of this cozy home. The fire in front of him provides a comforting presence. Its warmth seeps into his bones, making him feel safe and content. His thoughts drift to the calm sea outside, illuminated by the moonlight through the windows, reflecting the soft glow from the flames inside. As he reads, the world beyond seems so distant, like a dream. The book becomes a bridge between the real and the imagined, drawing his mind away from the fog and into stories that are free of worries. John sat by the fire, his book in hand. The flame flickered softly, casting shadows on the walls and floor. Outside, the wind whispered gently through the trees. The waves, like old friends, made their regular visit to the shore. Their rhythmic murmur was a lullaby that John knew well. Each splash against the sand was a reminder of the sea's steady presence. He turned a page and read softly. The words danced across his eyes as he focused on them, but his mind often strayed back to the sound of the waves. They seemed to grow louder with each passing moment, blending into the background noise that filled the room. The book he held was thick with stories of adventure and mystery, yet John found himself thinking less about the tales within it. Instead, his thoughts drifted to the vast ocean beyond the windows. He imagined the endless stretch of water, with its secrets and wonders waiting just below the surface. John leaned back into his chair, feeling the warmth of the fire on his skin. The air grew cooler as night deepened outside, but inside the cozy cottage, it remained snug and welcoming. The waves continued to sing their soothing song, lulling him deeper into a peaceful state. The keeper steps away from the old wooden ladder that leads to the upper levels of the lighthouse. He stretches slightly, feeling the fatigue of a long day's work melting away with each slow exhale. His feet find their way across the polished stone floor, leading him to a small, circular area at the center of the room. He sits down on an old wooden chair, his back resting against the cool, stone wall. The air is still and damp from the fog that wraps around the coast. The distant sound of the waves keeps him company, a gentle lullaby in the night. As he breathes deeply, the keeper's thoughts drift to the peacefulness of his life here. He thinks about the quiet evenings spent reading by candlelight, the soft glow that warms the small room. He imagines the stars shining brightly outside, the only light piercing through the swirling mist below. A smile tugs at the corners of his mouth as he remembers the rare moments when a ship passes safely because of his work. The keeper's heart swells with pride, knowing he plays an important and quiet role in keeping the coast safe for travelers. In this moment, everything seems perfect. The keeper is content just to be here, surrounded by the beauty of nature and the comforting sound of the waves. He closes his eyes, letting the weight of the day slip away. The keeper stays like that in the silence, feeling a deep sense of peace. As the night grows older, The thick blanket of fog starts to lift slowly from the coast. The lighthouse keeper stands at the window, watching the world outside change before his eyes. At first, just a few faint stars peek through the misty veil that still clings to the distant hills. The air is crisp and cool, carrying with it the salty scent of the sea. The waves continue their gentle rhythm, crashing softly against the shore. As the fog retreats, the keeper can see more clearly now. A star or two twinkles in the sky, joined by others until a full constellation seems to emerge from the darkness. The lighthouse beam still cuts through the night, casting long shadows across the nearby cliffs and the quiet, dark beach below. The keeper feels a sense of peace as he watches, his heart slowing with each breath. The world outside is calm and serene, and for now it stays that way. The sky outside was still dark, barely a flicker of light from the moon or stars. The lighthouse stood tall on its rocky perch, casting a steady beam of light across the misty sea. Inside, the keeper sat by his desk, finishing up some paperwork. He yawned widely, stretching his arms as if trying to stretch the day away. He decided it was time for a midnight walk along the coast. Grabbing his jacket and a flashlight, he exited the house quietly. The air outside was cool, carrying with it a soft, salty scent from the ocean. The waves crashed gently against the shore, their rhythmic sound like a lullaby. The keeper walked slowly, his boots making barely any noise on the wet sand. He glanced up at the sky. The stars were just beginning to twinkle brightly through the thinning fog. The moonlight shone weakly, enough to create a gentle path along the beach. He could see the waves breaking against the rocks, their white foam glistening in the silver light. As he walked, the keeper felt his mind drift. His thoughts turned towards the sea, its endless expanse, and the creatures that lived there. The seals were out, basking in the moonlight, their fur glistening. A few seagulls flew by, calling softly to each other as they circled above. He paused for a moment, looking up at the vastness of the night sky. The stars seemed so close, almost touching him if he reached out his hand. He breathed deeply, feeling a sense of peace that settled deep in his bones. The world was quiet, just the sound of the waves and the soft rustle of the wind. He continued walking, enjoying the cool breeze on his face and the gentle caress of the sand beneath his feet. The keeper felt a profound calm wash over him, as if all the worries of the day had been left behind in the house. He walked until he reached the lighthouse again, where he paused to take it all in. The light from inside the lighthouse shone out into the night, guiding ships safely home. He smiled softly, feeling a sense of duty and pride. He turned and began his journey back to the house, ready for some rest after this peaceful walk. The night has wrapped its cool blanket around the coast. Not a breath of wind stirs the fog that hangs like a thick, white shawl over the water and the land. The world is quiet, almost too silent to be real. A light pierces the stillness from a nearby lighthouse. Its beam sweeps across the landscape in slow, gentle arcs, a sentry watching over the sea. The keeper stands at the base of the tower, his torch casting a warm glow on the stone steps around him. The sound of the waves is the only thing that breaks the silence. They lap softly against the shore, creating a soothing rhythm that lulls the keeper to reflect. He listens to the water's gentle whisper, feeling the calm wash over him like a soft, comforting hug. A distant siren echoes through the fog, far off but clear. It sounds almost friendly, as if it too is part of this quiet night. The keeper turns for a moment, gazing out at the sea. His eyes follow the path of the lighthouse beam, watching it dance over the waves and disappear into the mist. The world seems to hold its breath in these moments, waiting patiently with him. He takes a deep breath, feeling the cool night air fill his lungs. The quiet is so complete that he can almost hear the tiny sounds that usually go unnoticed, like leaves rustling softly or insects buzzing far away. As the keeper stands there, lost in thought, a shooting star streaks across the sky, leaving a trail of light behind it. It sparks joy and wonder, reminding him even in this quietness that life is full of magic, hidden just out of sight. The world continues to be quiet around him, but within his heart, he feels alive with purpose. He knows it's time to return to the house, to finish his tasks before lying down for a peaceful night's sleep. The morning sun begins to peek over the horizon, casting a gentle glow across the quiet coast. It is still early, but the keeper knows it's time to return to the lighthouse. With each step he takes along the path, the cool air nips at his cheeks and whispers softly in his ear. He reaches the lighthouse steps and pauses for a moment, looking back at the sea that laps gently against the shore. The calmness of the morning is soothing, like a lullaby that calms the mind. He takes a deep breath, inhaling the salty air mixed with the scent of seaweed and wildflowers. With steady feet, he climbs the winding staircase inside the lighthouse. Each creaking step seems to echo softly in the quietness. Up he goes, listening to his breath and the soft rustle of the old wooden steps. The light from the lanterns begins to flicker gently, casting shadows on the walls. At last, he reaches his bedroom at the top. The bed is comfortable and inviting, just like a cozy nest after a long journey. He removes his coat and jacket, laying them neatly over a chair by the door. Then, with a contented sigh, he climbs into bed. The mattress is soft under him, wrapping him in warmth. He closes his eyes and feels himself drifting deeper, letting the calm of the morning sink into every fiber of his being. The lighthouse keeper carefully makes his way down the narrow stone steps from the lantern room. He walks through the cool, musty air into his small but cozy bedroom. He sets a warm mug of tea on the bedside table and sits on the edge of his bed, looking at the old wooden slats beneath him. The sound of the waves is steady and soothing. He takes a deep breath, filling his lungs with the salty sea air that carries the smell of the ocean. Slowly, he lies down on his cot, pulling the soft blanket up to his chin. The rhythmic thud of the foghorn echoes from outside, mingling with the gentle rolling of waves hitting the shore. Each wave crashes against the rocks, creating a calming rhythm. He closes his eyes and allows himself to feel the peace that surrounds him. The cool night air whispers through the small gaps in the window. The sound of crickets far away adds to the quiet. The lighthouse keeper listens to the distant calls of seabirds, their voices blending into the background noise of nature's symphony. He feels a deep contentment settle over his body. He thinks about the day that passed, how peaceful it was despite all the work and responsibility. The gentle roll of the waves is like a lullaby, soothing him to sleep. His thoughts slowly fade away as he drifts into a peaceful slumber. In this quiet night, surrounded by the familiar sounds of the sea, the lighthouse keeper finds comfort and rest. He dreams of clear skies and calm seas, free from worry or concern.